Today we're going to start on the About page. This is the first page that I make on any website that I do. And it's also the page that I require all my clients to do first, even whether I am designing their website or the VAs are doing their website. I am going to be going over some of the things that we have to have on the About page and how we can cover EAT, EEAT. Below in the description area are links to my other videos about EEAT and how important those are and what that all entails and how you can make sure that you satisfy that with Google, especially if you're in the YMYL space. In this particular case study, we are doing a real estate website, which is definitely in the YMYL space, according to Google, because YMYL stands for your money, your life. And whenever a lot of money is involved, like in real estate, where most people are spending more money than they ever have before in their life to buy a property, then that is considered in the YMYL space. So in order to be able to rank, especially with Zillow there being trusted by Google above all else, even though it's a crappy website for looking for houses in a local market and does not have correct values on it, you need a realtor to really guide you and direct you. So knowing that, we need to figure out a way, how can we make the real estate agents' websites up front and center? And that's how we do it, is through covering EAT. But how can we do that when it's so tough, when you're fighting against such high domain authority websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, etc.? Well, one of the ways that you do it is by niching down. And then also, not only do you niche and get very detailed, you also cover your About page. Now, most real estate agents, when I go to their websites, they have the most crappiest About pages ever, and they will never, ever rank. Most of them will not rank. And even if they are ranking, they probably were ranking before all of these algorithm changes came into being, and they just have that residual blessing from that. So what we're going to do today is, I'm not going to actually design the About page. I'm going to tell you what needs to go on there. I'm going to show you a page that I've already done. This is going to be for that case study that I'm telling you about. And then I'm going to have my tech VA come in and do all these things that I'm telling you that we need to do to the website. So the first thing that we need to do is to complete and this is a global setting in Thrive. So if you're interested in Thrive themes, I do have my link below for Thrive themes. I am an affiliate, and you can see how easy this is to work. Now, when you join Thrive in the membership, you get a full university, and that's why I don't want to repeat like everything they teach, because you get all the tutorials on every single aspect of how to build the best website. But not only that, they also give you a full university of courses that you can take. So let's say you are a coach and you want to create a course about how to live a healthier lifestyle. You can create all that in Thrive, and you don't have to go and buy Kajabi and ClickFunnels and all of these other kinds of websites that are so expensive, and you never own them. So if you're working in WordPress, guess what? You own your website. So you own the data. And if you ever were to stop paying for Thrive, you would still have all the HTML code and all the code. You just wouldn't have the prettiness around it, but you would have all your data. So that's what's so important about owning your own real estate on the internet. A lot of these things, like I told you in the previous video, if you go down to the description, you will see that all of these videos are done in order, how to start your website from start to finish. So it starts with the very beginning, how to choose your domain name. Even before that, why would Google ever rank your website? So that before you even start a website, you already know what you're up against and how are you going to deal with it and what is going to be your plan of action. So all of that is in those videos, and in my description, they are labeled 101, 102, 103, etc. So as you go through, you can just skip through to the ones you need if you already know how to do that. I kept them short in each one of the videos so that you can skip to those that you actually need to know about. And let's say you already have a domain name and you're not planning to change it, then you can skip those 2 videos. I have 2 videos on choosing the correct domain name for your website. You could skip those 2 and go to the next one. So that's how I have that set up. Those are not keywords to use on YouTube, but they're for my viewers and my subscribers, for the ease of you to be able to find what you need on my YouTube channel for all of these free tutorials that I'm doing for you. Now in Thrive, and also I have two other videos about Thrive that are in my description area as well. And I also have links to all the affiliate programs that I use to make these websites really stand out and be good. So this is just a plain blank page that I chose from Thrive. It's called just a templated landing page. And this part here at the bottom is called your footer. And this at the top is your menu bar. This is your header. Now you can have a header photo here and all kinds of things. I'm going to show you about that. But down here where you're going to put your logo, I'm going to have her put my whole team name. I'm going to do our copyright correctly. I have a specific way of doing that. Links to our terms of service, privacy. You have to have terms of service, privacy page, and disclaimer pages. You have to have all of those on any website according to Google's YMYL rules. The other thing is we're going to do all this. She's going to do all this in a global setting, which means I will never have to copy this again. This will automatically appear at the bottom of every single page on the website. Isn't that cool? Up at the top, the same thing. We'll create a menu up here. And then in that menu, everything will be the same on every single page. We will make that a global menu bar up here. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is what are we going to put on this content? And it's very simple how you can move around. Now I haven't filled it's so hard with let me see if I can make my eCam smaller. I always have a problem with that. Yeah, here I go. Okay. So I can see a little bit better on my page. You can't see that, but I can. So anyway, so here I'm going to put, this is going to be edit current template. We're going to want to edit it inside of, that happens to be a global thing. So I'm going to have to change that later. I'm just going to drag my text over and put it right there. I can do whatever I want. And I can say about Katerina Gasset and Tristan Gasset, who's my son. And these are keywords, of course, and we could put top realtors, Utah. Well, no, that's going to be on the site. So I'm going to go about Katerina Gasset, the Gasset Group in Utah County, Utah. So we can make this, of course, we're going to want to make that font bigger, probably like this. All right, so it's not really pretty right now, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to drag and drop in Thrive. And so then let's just say we wanted to make this into columns. We could take these columns down here. I could choose 2 columns. I can drag this into this here. There it is right there. And then here I could grab our photo, which I don't have one, but I would grab image, stick it right there, and then I would click insert image. And I don't have any files here in the media library, so that's fine. We'll do that later. But so I just wanted to show you that that's kind of what that looks like. And we're going to design. Oh, they want me to save my work. Not a big deal because I'm going to be doing a lot more design on this later. So if I lose that one sentence is not a big deal. So it's saving right now. I'm in an area of my home where my whole house is under construction. We are totally doing a reconstruct of a real super fixer-upper, way more than what I thought. Anyway, so the internet is not super fast here. All right, so now let me put this down so I can show you what an about page finished. So I just did this page for a realtor in Tacoma, Washington. And this is her personal website. This is not her company real estate website. This is not her homes for sale website or anything like that. She is a influencer in social media and has been written up in many magazines and everything. So she's very well known. So we're just exemplifying and amplifying. That's what I like to do, amplify. So we are amplifying her persona. So this is her, the page that I created, trying to meet EAT. We have a few more things to do, which we'll go over all of those. So, but I just want to show you some visuals so you can see how pretty you can actually make a page. So I chose a photo of her, very real, raw, just she's a woman that understands what other women are going through. She's a mom. you know, and she has a busy life, and so do her clients. So then from here, we can go right to home search, what's my home worth, testimonials, and contact me for that. But then that's not what I want people to pay attention. I want them to meet her and choose her as their advocate. So here we start talking about her personal journey. This is so important. No matter what business you're in, real estate, insurance, if you are a landscaper, a roofer, you got to tell your story. Your story is incredible. People don't do business with people until they know, like, and trust you. So this is huge. So this is telling her story. And then we're doing a little tidbit, little like snippets here of different things that she's been doing. And then a little bit about her and her husband, and then her and her family. And then a call to action. And then she started this amazing local women's group on Facebook, but they meet in person. And so she's been written up about this. And this is a huge mission that she has. These are very important touch points. And so you want to incorporate all these community things that you do. And then we have some testimonials, which didn't pass my EAT scoring. Unfortunately, I have to get a couple other ones there. They said they're not specific enough, which is, oh, I don't know what else you want, but knowing that you love her, I don't know. But anyway. And then we have our As Seen On, all of the different magazines and podcasts and different places she's been, things she's a member of. So, of course, all the realtor things and all of these all of these link back to those websites. And then contact information, embedding their Google Map. And then, of course, all of our NAP information. NAP is all right here. Here's that global footer I was telling you about. Again, her NAP is there, must match her NAP here, which must match the NAP on here. So that's another class for another day. That's called Google Business Profiles and how to rank on the Google sandwich, which is the map in the top 3. So this is what a complete, there's still some more work I'm going to do. And once I'm done with all of that, I'm going to send out a press release about this new website that I built for her. If we go over here to testimonials, hopefully this clicks. It should bring us to the testimonial page. I still need to add a little bit more content on it, but you will see she's got, oh, here it is. This is good. I did write it. Tons and tons of referrals, clients, a lot of stories, beautiful photos that are real. People can tell that they're real. The only thing she's lacking here is videos, which she's going to start working on. So this page just keeps going on and on. This is huge to follow for EAT. And we should, and I believe, yeah, I do have it. If I go back to her about page, yes, I'm linked right there to her testimonial page, which is very important. I probably should do an anchor link in here somewhere as well. Good thing I'm looking at this because that just gave me that idea. And then, yep, that's good. So this is how, and so ours is going to become a lot like this. I will show you another one that I have done about an author. So here is one about my journey, a little bit about me, about the author of Living in Provo, about my faith, about my family. I'm the author, different things like that. So this is still a page in progress. It needs to have more information on it, but this gives you another idea when you're trying to solve for EAT. There's so many things that you need to be doing, but also to bring home who you are so you can connect with your avatar in the right way. I wanted to show you a few other things about pages. So their search engine journal, which is a very respectable journal and blog, they created the 25 best about pages. I don't know what the criteria was, how people nominated sites or anything. Usually when it says the top 25 or the top 15, things like that, it's usually through a nomination process, and that's always skewed by your friends and people who have influencers who push it up, things like that. So I usually don't trust it so much, but I thought, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to look at them. And so I went to go look at this one guy's, let me see here. Oh, here it is. I think, is this Gutner? Yeah. So I looked at this is his about page, and I'm sorry I have my Harper AI right there. But this is his, so he's got 4 testimonials, which is good. But you see how little there is? It's very little information. So what I did was I went and ran the, because an SEO company is the one who says this is such a great About Us page. And they're talking about from a perspective of beauty, and how he speaks about himself and things like that, which is all good and important. And you need to have that as part of it. But what it came back for the testing for, it says page quality rating low. The provided web page content falls short in search of meeting the criteria for high quality content, 1, EEAT. Expertise. The content does not adequately demonstrate the author's expertise as a web designer. So see, because it's a nice story, so we start with the story, but then we've got to add more. So one of the things they said about Ruthie's website when my audit came back, it said that I didn't talk about how much production she did, like how many millions of dollars has she sold and things like that. And they said that real estate website, Google looks at real estate realtor websites as looking at that as one of those things that meets the EAT. I don't agree, but I'm not the one who's making the rules. I think that's a horrible method to use because you could have a really good agent who only sells one $10 million home a year, but be really, really good and not need to sell any more than that. Or, I mean, there's so many different things and that's not how people don't go and look for a realtor who's done hundreds of millions of dollars in production. I mean, there might be a few people here and there, but I've never been asked a question. I've been in real estate for over 40 years, and I've never, ever once been asked, how many homes did you sell? In a joking way, I've had friends ask me, but a client, they don't care because they know I take good care of them. It says that there's no authoritativeness. There's no clear indication of his authority in web design. Testimonials from satisfied customers are mentioned, but they lack, again, specificity and don't provide evidence. And that's the same thing that the same audit said about Ruthie's website, that her testimonials are there, but they're not specific enough. So you want to make sure. The best way to do this is if you write the testimonial and then give it to your client and say, do you agree with this? Would you like this to be your testimonial, and have them sign it and agree to it? Because they don't know what to say, especially when it comes to keywords or following EAT. They wouldn't have a clue, right? So help them with that and maybe suggest some things they should write about, or you write the specific things and then they can just agree to it. The other one is trustworthiness. The content lacks trustworthiness due to the absence of credentials and certifications. So that, again, is another thing that they're always looking for. And if you look at Ruthie's site here, I knew that going into this, so I went and got these verifications. She's certified with Women's Council of Realtors, so I made sure that I talked about that. She's a member of the NAR and the Washington, so she's a member of all 4 of these, so I made sure that we talked about that and showed that she's certified as a membership in here, so that way we would pass that. Let's see, where's his, okay. The relevance to search intent and user expectations. He fails to align with user expectations. That's interesting. Visitors seeking information about web design may find it difficult to find out if he's suitable because he doesn't give any specific details, portfolio examples, or case studies. So those are huge. I'm always being asked for case studies, which is really difficult in our company because we have a lot of clients who are agencies, so we white label our services for them. So we don't have like a lot of clients, and a lot of our clients don't want people to know that we're working for them because we're doing it behind the scenes or whatever. We do have and then we do have a lot of clients who love to show us off and they refer us like crazy, etc. However, they still want to see some, verification, credibility, right? So he needs to give if you have a website, if you're a website designer, you need to show, even on your about page, some samples of your website design. And then you can have a whole page for your portfolio and link to it. And then it says YMYL. Yes, it does not fall under the YMYL. Okay, because it's not critical, even though you're spending money on a website. This is good to know. So Google's going to ease up on them a little bit because they're not putting them in YMYL as of right now. They keep adding new ones to YMYL. As soon as they start hearing people getting ripped off for $20,000-$30,000 for a website, then suddenly, guess what? All web designers will be thrown into YMYL. But so then they want you to enhance EAT, clearly highlight his expertise, qualifications, industry experience in web design, include past projects, achievements. Always remember that as seen as. That is huge to establish EAT. So you want to make sure every one of your about pages has as seen on. And even if it's just one sentence you said on your local news, you make sure you put that in there. And then it says to provide external references, links. So again, he should be linking if he's a member of the Chamber of Commerce, if he's, different things like that. He needs to link to that stuff. To address relevance and user expectations. So there you're going to add a little bit more further down the page about what to expect, showcase, again, the portfolio. And then improve the readability and scannability. You see, it might be pretty, but it's difficult, very difficult. First of all, the font is way too small. So the font size should be at least a 16, sometimes an 18, especially when people don't want to put on their glasses to read on their phone. And organize it into sections. Like all of this, it says to work all over the world, Sweden, Denmark. This should all be bulleted, right? It should be really cool. And you can make some really cool designs around that. Like it just said, bullet points. Yeah, those are bullet points right there. Headings, subheadings. It doesn't have any of that SEO structure. So those are some things he could work on. So I think you're getting the point now. So I'm going to close out of his. And then another site they gave me was this MailChimp, which is terrible. I didn't even run the report on it because I already know it has no content on it. It's terrible for an about page. And then we go to Cupcakes and Cashmere, where I ran this same thing. And again, they said that this was such a pretty, and it's pretty. Yeah, it's very pretty. Meet the team, meet her. That's nice to have the team stuff. Has a fact page, but it doesn't have a lot of photos on it, especially for something that's so visual like these kinds of things. So it looks like she has a lifestyle blog. And then here, let me see what it says here. So this has a rating of low. It says that it fails to establish her expertise and credentials. There's no clear indication of who she is, why we should listen to her. It's not directly in the YMYL, but it is a personal blog. It could have an impact, so we don't know what Google would actually do with it. So you want to pay attention to credentials. It contains various sections on all of these things, but they're very limited and lack a lot of depth, which she's never going to rank then for those kinds of topics. So then again, what does she need? She doesn't have any links to external sources to prove any of her claims. Okay. Consider an about section with detailed information about her background and experience. So she needs to have, you see, there's nothing. It's just a little bit about how she started, but it's not giving that journey I was telling you about that you need to have on your website. And then give more tips, incorporate statistics, studies. Yeah, so there's, again, a lot of different things. And each one of these is different because it's a different niche, right? So let's go to this one here where this is a good article about how to get your site to align with the quality rater guidelines, which is what Google uses. Let me move my camera over. Let me make sure everything's working right. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so we don't need to go through. I have videos on this already, so I don't need to read all this to you. You can watch my other videos that explain about EAT, all about it. A lot of this stuff is just not that, it's just getting technical here, which we don't need to be. And then it explains more about YMYL, which I explained already. It gives you some examples like sleeping. Like here, liver cancer treatment. It's going to be YMYL for health and safety. Sleeping challenges when pregnant, YMYL, health and safety, right? Filling out tax forms, YMYL, financial security. So it teaches you like what's your site going to be like? What is the niche about? And most, like if you have a hobby niche, you usually don't have to worry about this very much, but you still got to show your expertise. You want to regularly, so these are really good ways. He gives some really good ideas. Regularly audit your existing content. So make sure that you go back to your about page. Most people I know, they never update their about page. And let's say you are a realtor and you go get the SFR. Let's say you got the SFR designation in 2012. Let's just say it's around the time when it came out. And so you have that on your website. But then last year you went to go get the seniors designation, the SRES, I think it is. And you haven't come back to your website to add that to there. So you need to make sure that you're always coming back and always look for ways to get other designations so that you can add them and link to those sites that offer that carry that designation. Always cite your sources. This is so important. And in real estate, this is even more important because we have a rule in real estate because you have a fiduciary duty to your clients. So once a person becomes a client, you have to be a fiduciary to them, which means, and so you don't want to give them information that could be wrong, and you can't say, oh, I think, or it might. You gotta always be this, we call it be the source of the source. So it's the same thing on your website, be the source of the source. So you can write your own content, you put it all together, but then if you're giving facts, you need to show where you got those facts. So this is like medical studies, government regulations, things like that. So one of the things that we have to have on our real estate pages, which let me make sure we have that on there. Yeah, we need the fair housing. I thought I had it on here. We need the fair housing. Let me see if we have it on our homepage, but we need the fair housing. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, that's going to a different page. Yeah, so I guess we'll have to check on that. Yeah, so good thing I just thought about that. Yeah, we need to, make sure, I don't need this one anymore. We need to make sure that we have that fair housing symbol on all of our websites. Have your policies front and center. This is another thing. We're going to have to add, and I'll do another video on your terms of service, your privacy page, and your disclaimer pages. So there's a lot of laws you have to meet no matter, let's say you have a website and you live in Colorado. Well, you still have to obey the California website rules and laws because someone in California who's a resident of California might go to your website that's in Colorado. California requires you to obey those laws, whether you're a resident of California or not. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but it is the way it is. And same with Britain. They are the European Union, or I don't know if it's England, Britain, but one of them, they have the GDPR, which is a pain in the butt. And they can come and sue you if you don't have the proper disclaimers on your site based on their laws. Usually they're not going to come after small people. They like to go after the deeper pockets because the fines are humongous. And then tying it all together, you're going to want to, of course, look at everything. There's a lot of things you can look on here about and find out more by researching this more if you want to. I like to learn about it because I always want to stay on top of all of this. If you don't, and if you're doing all of this, we can help you with that. So you can even hire me as your about page designer, and I will write all of your copy for you. After I have an interview with you, I will rewrite it all for you and add it all for you and lay it out. You also, if you have all the content already, you can just hire the VAs to do that for you. And you can say, do this, do that, put this there, put this there. If I'm not involved, it's a lot less of a cost than if you hire me directly. So those are some things that are options for you. We're always here to help you. I own a virtual assistant company, and I have a real estate team that I lead with eXp Realty in Utah and in Florida. And we would love to help you with, and I'm a business consultant, and I'd love to coach you and get your business going. So just contact me. All of my information is below in the description. Make sure you subscribe, and click that notification button so you don't miss the next in the series. And I look forward to see you in the next video.